legendary Jimmy Page's guitar solo on Led Zeppelin's unforgettable Stairway to Heaven. If you've been to a high school prom, you know that song. The favorite last song for every generation, it seems. Fasten your seatbelts. New Led Zeppelin music is coming your way. Yelena Adzik is here to tell us about that.
Yeah, so Led Zeppelin, aka, as they say, Jimmy Page, he's got this reissue program. He is obsessed with audio quality. He wants it to be top-notch. So he's taken a lot of his old albums, digitally remastered them himself, and has been putting them out into the world. Now, so you will get songs that you've heard before, but with better quality, but you'll also get new songs that you've never heard before, and that's what I'm about to give you right now. So why don't we listen to a track? This is called Sugar Mama, and this is the new version taken from the Coda album, which was originally recorded in 1982, and I'm going to give it to you right now.
Sugar mama, sugar mama, sugar mama, where you been?
That's how I sing in the shower, by the way. Anyways, maybe too much info. This is one of those albums that has people just lining up. They love it. They love anything new from him or anything old from him. You have to remember that 1968 is when Jimmy Page formed Led Zeppelin. And, you know, it ended up being one of the most influential rock bands, sold more than 300 million albums worldwide. And so it was a real treat for my colleague, Deanna Sumanak, to sit down with Jimmy Page, talk about his life, his album, a book that he has. And I want to give you a clip right now where he addresses his connection with Canada, because one of the clubs that he played in here, happened to be in Toronto. And the Masonic Temple, it used to be a rock club, and that was where he held his first show here. And so he talked a little bit about that affinity. Have a listen.
It was amazing playing here. The audience, it was I call it an underground venue. That's what it would have been referred to as. And the audiences were really into their music, and they really got what Led Zeppelin was about. It was magnificent.
So rock star like to keep the shades on, right? I talked with Deanna about that, and she said, yeah, no, he was great in person, he was very giving, but the shades, they needed to stay on.
That makes it tough to do an interview because you
does.
really are trying to connect with someone and get a bit of a read on them by their reactions. If you can't see the reaction, you're just...
It's like Bono, like all of them. That's what they do, right?
Now, some fans got to meet him too. What was that like?
Yeah, okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there is a book. This came out a little while ago, but he just happens to be in the Toronto area visiting Canada. So he decided he's going to sign some of these books for people who are fans, but he's not exactly signing. You know what he's doing, Diana? He's stamping the books. Yeah, again, in rock star fashion. I know I'm making him out to be maybe more of a diva than he really is, but yeah, he's not doing any personalization. In order to get in this line that you're looking at right here and get the wristband, you have to have purchased the book, which sells for about $55 or so at Indigo. And so everyone there got in line, waited for hours for this opportunity. And they weren't, like I say, they weren't allowed to ask for any kind of personalized signature. They got this stamp, which is essentially a symbol that means something to him. And they also got the opportunity to take...
It's not even a stamp of his signature?
No. It's a stamp of an old symbol. It's a cultish type symbol that has a lot of meaning to him. So it's very interesting. But what I wanted to say is that we did catch up with some of the people that were there, and they didn't care about any of that. They were just so enthusiastic. Have a listen.
I got here at 7 or so, about maybe an hour before they started to open up. I got up at 4, came in from Hamilton.
I'm a musician and I took my influences from everywhere, but Jimmy Page is a huge one.
Die-hard fan since I was 11 years old. Ever since my dad made me listen to Ramble On, instantly hooked. I said to myself, I'm like, wow, this is good. Who is this Led Zeppelin guy? But then I realized, greatest band ever, hands down.
And that's from a younger fan, so it just goes to show that all ages, they are still very much in love with Led Zeppelin and Jimmy Page.